The minor pentatonic. It's simple, it's cool, and we've got a workshop for you, so grab your instrument. Hi, and welcome to the Saxophone Academy. I'm Dr. Wally Wallace, and if you're interested in saxophone masterclasses and product reviews, please do subscribe and be sure to hit the like button. They've added a cool new animation. Check it out. Now today we're talking about the minor pentatonic scale. This month we're studying Lou Donaldson's Blues Walk. Next week we're going to dive deep into that tune, the 12-bar minor blues, and take a look at his solo. But this week we're learning the pentatonic scale and its application. So in this workshop we've got some technical exercises, some ear training, and some style applications and usage for this. Now we've got an alto and tenor PDF, and for reference all 12 minor pentatonics written out, so make sure you click on the link below and download all the goodies. Now this is a playing workshop, so do have your instrument handy or watch through this once and then bring your instrument and play along. Now the pentatonic scale is obviously a 5-note pattern, hence the penta root. It's a collection of notes in the minor form that works beautifully over the minor blues. So let's take a listen to the scale first and just see how it sounds. Feel free to play along with me. So in the alto key of D, concert F, this is going to be G on tenor, we've got a root, a minor third, a perfect fourth. We call it that because it's not arbitrarily trying to raise its self-esteem. It's just perfect fourth because it's not altered. We have a perfect fifth and a minor seventh. Now the minor seventh is what's making this so beautiful in the home key area. It's not a leading tone. It's not a major or sharp 7. It's a lovely note to sit on as it doesn't pull too strongly in one direction or the other, unlike the major scale where the 7th wants to lead and pull back to the tonic. Now remember those interval names. We're going to come back to them when we do our ear training exercises, but right now let's just play it full range, aiming for homogeny of tone quality. Yes, we're getting the notes in our fingers, but every exercise can be a tone study with the right mindset. Now for the advanced players, feel free to take this into the Altissimo range, maybe the modest Altissimo range, depending on how much time you have and how many years you've been playing. Aim again for consistency of sound and ease. Try not to overblow the Altissimo, just make it an extension of the register. It's always easy to add heat and spice to it, rather difficult to take it away. Next, let's build some technical fluency. So here's a simple pattern that you've likely heard before in other exercises. We're going to do it both ascending and descending, first slow and then fast. So play along, make sure you download the worksheet. The tenor part is in the worksheet. Now, at this point, the sound of the minor pentatonic should be in your ears, and your fingers should have some fluency navigating up and down the horn using this scale pattern. But that's not enough. Improvisation requires us to hear something and then play it, not just noodling digital patterns over chord changes. That's going to get old very quick. So we're going to do some very basic ear training, starting with simple interval recognition. This is by no means exhaustive, but it's a very good place to start. We have to start somewhere. So no matter your skill level, you can use this as a challenge or simply a reiteration of what you already know. But let's start simple, simply identifying the intervals from the root to the different scale degrees of the minor pentatonic. So let's listen to the intervals starting from the tonic going up the different scale degrees. We're going to name those intervals, and then I'll give you a simple tune to help you remember them, starting with, let's listen to the minor third. And you can remember that as the common lullaby. Or from the opening interval in one of my favorite melodies. If you know what it is, let me know and answer it in the comments below. Next up, the perfect fourth. Take a listen. And the tune most of us will recognize this interval from. Next up, the perfect fifth. We call it the perfect fifth because that's the name of the interval, indicating it's not altered, it's not lowered or raised. So we call it the perfect fifth. Let's take a listen. And we might recognize that interval from the opening bars of a melody that comes from a galaxy far, far away. Finally, we've got the minor seventh. It's not the major seventh, which is a half step away from the tonic. It's a minor seventh. Let's take a listen to that longing, kind of distantly romantic interval. Now, the way I remember that is from Leonard Bernstein's Somewhere. And if you haven't heard that, you absolutely have to listen to Dave Brubeck Quartet with Paul Desmond playing the music of Leonard Bernstein. They play the West Side Suite of music. It's simply beautiful. Run to your record store, and record stores don't exist anymore. Okay, change of plans. Buy a DeLorean and some plutonium, and then we're going to... Now let's do an ear training exercise. I want you to listen through this 3 times. First time through, sing the interval. Just sing what I played, as close as possible. Next time through, name it. If I play a perfect fourth, say perfect fourth. Identify it. You can say it out loud. People might think you're strange, but you're a saxophonist. That kind of goes without saying. Then, the third time, play the interval. Think it in your head what it is, and then play it once you've identified it. Too many times and you'll have the exercise memorized, so 3 times through is a good challenge for this. Now, do not take this exercise and equate your self-esteem with it. What I mean is, I know some very advanced classical musicians that fall on their face when they're transcribing intervals or simple melodies. This is not an indication of musical talent or ability. It's simply an exercise. It's a skill we have to develop. So do not get upset if you can't hear the interval or you're not sure or you're wildly off. It's a skill we're going to train, and we're going to be doing that over the next several months, maybe the next several years. The journey is the reward. We're here to train and learn, so don't get upset if this is difficult for you. I know some very fine musicians that aren't particularly good at this, but we're going to get better. So 3 times through, sing, identify, then listen. I'm going to bookmark or put little chapters so you can try this exercise a few times. Now, beyond knowing the notes and hearing them, we need style. Noodling up and down the scale over a key area is going to get old and sound really bad really quickly. So we need to add some style and clarity to our ideas, and that largely happens through articulation. So we're going to do a couple of articulation exercises, some call and response, and we're going to focus on 2 specific syllables, do and dat. Then we're going to do dat. So do is a long syllable. It can be marked with a tenuto or a line over the top, but very commonly when you're reading a big band chart or a real book, there's no markings whatsoever, but we've clearly marked it in here with not only the spoken syllable, you'll never see that in a big band chart, but we've also put in the very clear articulation markings. Now, do is a long note leading to the next note, rather. So we say do, it removes the tongue and lets the air out, but then we don't stop that note with the tongue. It leads to the next note. The next syllable we're going to talk about is the dat, which starts with the removal of the tongue, dat, but then it also ends with a clear ending where we add the tongue back onto the reed without stopping the airstream. So we get dat, not da. So make sure the air pushes until the end, almost surprising our airstream with our tongue. Dat. Our airstream and tongue are independent. So try the do, dat syllables. You're going to get a long way in jazz if you can simply master those. So we've got some call and response exercises. Do it 2 times through. First time, just say the syllables that we've clearly marked in the part. Next time, play along. And again, if you're playing tenor, make sure you download the PDF and use the tenor notes. It'll sound better that way. So make sure you do these exercises. Don't just watch. Watching is learning, but it is not understanding. Playing, experiencing it leads to understanding. We're going to put this in context next week of Lou Donaldson's Blues Walk. We're going to take a look at a solo, talk about soloing over the 12-bar minor blues, and we've got some other free goodies that I'm really excited to share with you. So I will see you next week. I hope you have a most wonderful week. I hope you're enjoying the fall weather wherever you are. It's beautiful here in North Carolina. The colors, we've got buttery yellows and fiery reds and rusty oranges outside. Go practice.